Where's the sound trip ever taken?
Let me get the camera up. Alright. Well, since apparently Jokey Pants forgot to put me in the video, the only time he does Muppets and he completely forgot. He also forgot what. Anyway, instead of worrying about me, you should be going on over to www.gg where you can use code Oddcast to save yourself money. Look at all the flavors they got. They got all these anime things they're doing all the time. You can get Chainsaw Man flavors, tumblers, they got hats, they got hoodies, they got all that stuff if you're into that instead of energy drink. But if you're looking for a sugar-free, little energy drink for yourself, go on over to W and use code Oddcast so these guys can get support from viewers and listeners like yourselves. It would be highly appreciated. Look, just look if you're watching the video version, just look on the screen here, look here. Go to Oddcast, use code Oddcast. That's 10% off your order. 10% off your order if you just go over, use the code, and you show them some love.
Maggie, that's why we drink our milk!
Lactose intolerant, asshole!
Get the fuck out of my house.
Fuck you.
So you're trying to tell me that all these deaths are accidental? Let's think we're all idiots here or something.
Hi, Dad. This episode goes out to you. Once again, I do it quite often where I have a movie that my dad got me into. But this one especially. Where today, here on Jokey Pants Has Bad Taste, Jokey Pants with me, Cerebral Paul.
Hey, everybody. I need to come up with a general greeting that I use every week. I need to come up with something.
I mean, I don't have shit. I just wing it.
Aside from, you wouldn't believe what he made me. Oh my God! Oh, that was the last show we did. That was.
I'm not going to subtitle that. I'm just going to bleep what he said, and you can assume what he said. So today, folks, we got Maniac 2012, our final remake of the month, or maybe when I release it, it won't be the final. I don't know. Either way, we're doing Maniac from 2012, which is a fantastic remake of a horror movie that was so low budget, nobody really knows it exists. And then this was the remake of it, but Maniac. So where do we start? Let's start. The original movie was 1980 with William Lustig, who you may recognize from things like Maniac Cop. Anyway, he also did Maniac.
I was going to say, and Maniac Cop has grown a cult following.
Yes. I was going to say, has nothing to do with Maniac. It just has the same name in it, but not related.
But the film itself has grown a definite cult following in the years
100%.
since.
100%. So the director here, we got Frank Calfoun, who I don't know any of the other things he's done. I looked into what he's done. I haven't seen any of it. It looks like a lot of. I get why William Lustig would have picked him, because it seems like he does a lot of like your B-movie obscure things, which is what he had always done. So I get why you would choose that. So the biggest difference between 1980 to the 2012 remake here, number one, Elijah Wood is the main character in the remake, which still fucking wild to me they were able to get him into this movie in 2012. Not even because his career is not starting. Like, this man has already done Lord of the Rings. Like, he has a good career, and then he just did this random fucking B movie. It's just like, yeah, fuck it, it looks fun. But the biggest difference, the 1980 follows the main character Frank as he's murdering people and he's losing himself, whatnot. The difference for the 2012 remake was they made it first person. There's a couple third person shots in it, but for the most part, you're following Frank through his eyes, which was a very unique take. So we're just gonna dive into this one, folks, because this is a wild one. So this movie opens up just randomly. You're looking at a street. You're on like a street corner, and we get some women that coming back from a party, talking about they're gonna go back to their house. Like, are we gonna go party more? We're just gonna go home. Yada yada. You start to hear Elijah Wood's character Frank here. You start to hear him talk a little bit, where he's talking about like, oh, you're all alone now, huh? And then a guy's bothering her, and you get the like, hey, leave her alone. You just leave her alone. And then it's, again, POV, because we're through his eyes. He's driving around the city. He's following this woman, basically just following her to where it is that she lives, because he overheard her talking to her friend and knows where she goes. She spots him. She freaks out. She starts walking faster, like trying to cut corners and like get the hell away from this van. And then he cuts down a side road and he says he'll see her real soon. Which is then we cut to her building and we see him with a big ass fucking knife just cutting out the fuse box. Like, yep, no lights for you. This woman gets back. She's going up to her apartment. She seems fine. It's all good. Other than it's really dark. And this movie doesn't hold back. This movie just immediately... She turns around and he just tells her that she's so beautiful, don't scream, and then slams his knife up through the bottom of her jaw, right into the head. And he just like caresses her. And then he scalps her. Which is a thing he's going to do throughout this entire movie. He's really into scalping people.
Well, we learn why.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh yeah, you learn why. But yeah, and then you get the title of Maniac.
Please don't scream. You're so beautiful.
At which point you go, duh.
Yeah. Like, I'd assume this guy's Maniac.
Yeah.
We get that Frank wakes up where we don't get to see a whole lot about where he's living at. But he wakes up, gets on dating sites, and he's doing the online dating and just sending messages and liking, swiping, but it's on a computer, so not really swiping. But he ends up meeting up with someone called Red Lucy, who messages him, and they're messaging back and forth. They send a picture, and it's just like, oh, that's what you look like, this is what I look like, and they set up a date. Seems innocent enough, except that you know what happened like 2 minutes before this encounter, so you know this isn't going to go well for this poor woman. As they're having, like, they meet up, they have drinks. This is something that is was purposely put in here. They're having drinks. Lucy meets up with Frank, and she tells him what I imagined would be coming on this date. And she describes a short, fat Italian guy, greasy, long black hair, creepy mustache kind of thing. She's just describing Frank from the original Maniac. It was the whole point of this line.
You are totally not what I imagined.
Really? What did you imagine?
Like fat with long black hair and just greasy skin full of acne.
You should have seen the other photo I was going to send you.
I mean, people always post the best pictures of themselves, and then that's what most of the psychos end up looking like when you meet them.
They have a whole bunch of drinks, and they have a good time.
Yeah. And I will say, because it was mentioned on the IMDb, the background stuff, that a lot of people didn't like this movie because Elijah Wood, they said he looked too good to be a serial killer. Apparently, people who said that don't know how a bunch of serial killers who were actually very good-looking guys, including being on the dating game like 3 times. You know?
Yeah, it's not an uncommon thing. You know, like everybody also always goes to Ted Bundy. We're like,
yeah,
he's not the best-looking person, but at the time when he was doing his stuff, he was a pretty attractive-looking man.
Yeah, and Richard Ramirez too wasn't bad. I mean, all of them. I mean, you know,
there's a lot of serial killers that like.
That's how they get close to women, you know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're looking like me, you're not going to get anywhere near anyone. You know, the people see you coming miles away and run. It makes it really hard.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's not a serial killer. It just means he's not really good at it. It's just,
Go back and watch our Valentine's episode. So, damn. So they got the drinks. Things go well. I mean, as far as the day goes, for what you know about this guy so far, gives her a ride home. She sees all the mannequins. This is where we get the first talk about his mannequins. She sees a bunch of mannequins in the van, and she asks him why, and he's like, "Oh, I do refurbishing and remodeling stuff on mannequins and sell them off to antique stores and whatnot." She's like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of cool, I guess, whatever." She doesn't really care. She's drunk. She invites Frank up, and this is where she makes a terrible mistake, is she invites Frank upstairs. She thinks she's going to get lucky with this kind of cute guy she went on this date with and had fun with.
well, she kind of did for a couple of seconds anyway. But
Yes, you know, she moves things along. Frank's awkward, so he doesn't know how to make a move. I feel you. But she makes a move, and she goes down on him, and it's going fine until Frank just fucking loses it, because Frank just all of a sudden is like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I kill people." And he proceeds to strangle Lucy to death. And then, wait for it. You guessed it, scalps her, because you gotta take that hair. Gotta take that hair. Oh, but we also get Frank when he kills her here. We get him mad at himself, talking about couldn't enjoy things and that they have to take it.
Yeah. You remember when Gollum and Smeagol were arguing with each other in Lord of the Rings?
Exactly. It's very much building up to that. Frank is dealing with a lot of things in his own head, and that the killing is not necessarily his. It's not Frank in control at that point. It is something inside Frank's brain that makes him do it, and it's an argument that he has. And this is where we find out why he scalps everyone, and it's super cool, super creative.
Here we go. Oh, that's nice. Perfect fit, right? Okay, now, this might sting a little. Okay, good. Good. Just one more. Perfect.
He takes mannequins and he staples their hair onto their heads, and he makes them mannequin versions. They are with him forever. God damn, man.
Oh, and it gets weirder from here on out, because I did say that. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Apparently, just like real life, you get two mannequin women in the same room, and they're going to argue with each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just starts arguing with all the mannequins. You don't get to hear their arguments, but we get to see Frank screaming at them that they're all wrong.
Yeah, it's like...
Can't win, folks. Can't win, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's arguing with them, we get the first sign of something that there's a reason I enjoy this movie as much as I do, and it's in the same vein as the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, where it's showing you things that for someone who is a serial killer, this is a real thing that serial killers actually do and deal with. Which right here is that he gets a massive migraine, and it's him still arguing with himself while also dealing with it. Fantastic touch, because that is a thing that many serial killers talk about, is getting migraines and then they have to kill someone. It's an urge that they can't control. This is a nice little touch that they put this in here, because it is something that will become a major plot point later. But it doesn't matter. Frank goes to bed, and we get a flashback dream of him brushing his mommy's hair. And it's so cute, and it's so wonderful. His mom loves him so much. He's such a good little boy. I wish it stayed like that, because the things we see later, my fucking God. So...
By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but this movie is another one that's influenced by the Ed Gein story.
Yes, very,
Psycho
very, very, very much.
Psycho and all that stuff. Yeah.
So the next day, Frank wakes up. Everything seems okay, but there's someone outside of his shop, and there's someone doing something. So he raises up the security gate, and he opens up the door, and this is where we meet Anna, who's a photographer who takes pictures of mannequins, as she puts it, to bring lifeless things, make them look lively. She's like, I bring them to life with what I do. She's fascinated with Frank because Frank fixes and repairs antique mannequins, and that's what she wants for her photos. So it's a match made in heaven for the two of them for now. The person playing Anna is Nora, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Arnazetter. I recognized her, and I couldn't put my fucking finger on where the hell I'd seen this woman. And so I looked it up. She was a main character in the Zoo, the series. Which I'd recognize her from that. But then I also recognized there's a movie called The Colony from 2021 that I watched not too long ago. And she's a character in there too, so I recognize her from those two things. If you've seen either of those, you've seen her. The Colony I might actually cover on this show at some point. It was kind of interesting. Anyway, so she's going to photograph mannequins. She asks him about getting mannequins to do for a show, because she has an art gala show that she's doing, and she wants mannequins for a special idea. He talks about, he's like, yeah, I could probably rent you some mannequins and whatnot. So that's all set up. We also learn in this little interaction before we cut off to the next thing, we learn about this shop, which is that his mother owned it, and then his mother died, and Frank inherited it, and he's been trying to keep her memory alive by doing all this. So that's one little thing we do learn here, is that he has this shop because of his mother. Apparently his mother owned it. So Anna leaves. He's doing his mannequin shit. He also has an issue with washing his hands, where if he does anything that gets his hands dirty, he OCD obsessively has to scrub his hands with a Brillo pad. And we see it this bit here, he's washing his hands, and they turn into mannequin hands. And we see that his psychosis mania is getting worse. That now he's slowly starting to see himself becoming a mannequin, but that's not right, and he has to take some pills. But it's okay.
By the way, the Brillo pad thing made my hands hurt because
dude, for fucking real. I've had to do that, having gunk on my hands before, and it Brillo pads don't feel good. It's just that hurts. He's also I forgot. He also bug sprays all the mannequins because they're fucking rotting pieces of scalp. So there's flies everywhere. And he sees them as intruders on his life, and they have to go away. So what does a serial killer do when his work's done with the mannequins and he meets an attractive woman that he might kind of have a thing for? Oh, well, you just go on the hunt again that night. You just go find someone else to murder. Which is exactly what he does. And he hides in a dance studio.
Nice.
He hides in a dance studio. He hides in a locker. And the woman spots him, kind of, but then just thinks she was seeing something. So she has her friends walk with her. He follows this woman all across the city. He follows her on the subway. And he's when they get to the subway and she's headed to where she lives, there's a newspaper that a guy is reading across from Frank. And the newspaper mentions what's going on, which is police worried of serial killer because there's all these fucking murders going on. So like nobody has any idea what the fuck is going on right now. So yeah, he follows this woman. He even follows her off the subway. And then she notices him getting off the subway. He just, God damn it. He just looks at her. He's like, "You're so beautiful." And she immediately runs for her life because she's smart enough to know this man is fucking creepy. I should probably get the hell away from this guy. But she's not smart enough, folks, because she eventually runs into like a car lot like an idiot. And Frank closes the gate, puts a bar on it so she can't just slide it back open, and then she's trapped. He hides under a fucking car. It slits her ankle, like her Achilles tendon, and then he stabs her. Like I counted, I think 17 stab times. He just fucking goes to town on this woman. And then he scalps her, because gotta scalp him. Gotta have that scalp with a pretty lady, because then you can turn her into a mannequin and she can live with you forever. Ideas. Are you lonely next Valentine's Day? Just get a mannequin. That's all you need. So yeah, she's dead. Takes her scalp, does the same thing he does to everyone.
If you do get a mannequin, make sure you play nonstop. Nothing's going to stop us now by...
Jesus Christ. So the next day, Anna's getting photos. Frank's doing repair work on a mannequin. She's getting a bunch of photos. She gets the mannequins for her art show, which are mannequins with blank faces. It was her request. She has a whole thing she's going to do. So Frank loads that up for her. They talk a little bit about like, oh, what are you using them? Like, are just like special idea? Like, are they going to come back to me intact? They go on a little date, just a little hanging out. They go to the park and they're feeding the ducks. Start talking about, you know, his mother and like how he got the shop, and they seems okay. But because she mentions his mother, Frank gets another migraine. And then he has to wander off. And he tells her, like, no, it's fine. Just migraine. It's fine. It'll go away. Apparently he ran out of meds. So we find he goes to a pharmacy. He gets some more medication. Which doesn't do shit. Doesn't do fucking shit. Because we cut to the news covering all of Frank's kills. That there's likely a serial killer on the loose in New York, because there's women appearing up all over the city and they're brutally murdered. And he has a conversation with the mannequins about like he's not gonna stop, he can't stop, he has to get them more friends, and they have to have a family. And then he has more hallucinations here. And boy, does this hallucination make you feel just a tad uncomfortable, folks, because now we're getting more mom. So Frank had to hide in a closet as a kid, while mom had friends come over with Peruvian marching powder. And she tells him to just stay in the closet. Just stay there. It's all okay. And we find out that his mom wasn't really a mannequin store worker. His mom was kind of a lady of the night, is just really what we gather. Because the scenes that come up later do the same exact thing. And you're like, okay, maybe she wasn't exactly like a mannequin person. Okay. He can't sleep, obviously. I mean, how are you going to sleep when you're dreaming about that? I kill me. So he can't sleep. So he calls Anna. He explains he forgot the meds earlier. But Anna, now this is the thing. Anna's at the art gallery setting up for her art show. Frank, being Frank, the killer, parks his van across the street to just watch her what she's doing when he calls her. But they set up a date, and just like, yeah, you know, we'll go to a movie. Or are you doing anything tonight? Just like, oh, I'm busy. It's like, oh, what about tomorrow? So then the next day they go out to the movies. Frank has some more hallucinations here. He pictures Lucy's in the crowd in the theater and watching him, and then she turns into Mannequin Lucy. So he's starting to lose it just a tad bit more. But it's okay, because the next night it's the art show, baby. All the hard work Frank was doing for those mannequins, all the stuff Anna's been doing, all gonna pay off here. He finds out that he doesn't really fucking fit in with any of these people. Like, these are like rich artistic people. He feels like everyone's staring at him, something he gets paranoid about a lot, and he'll hallucinate everyone is staring at him. He starts to do that here because, again, it's just not his kind of people. He runs into Anna's boyfriend in the bathroom, who gives him a talk, and the talk is very much just, "You're gay, right? Like all her other friends?" And then Frank going like, "No, like no, you don't understand. You're gay, and you're getting to hang around my girlfriend. End of story. Nice chat." And he leaves, and I was like, "What a douche! kind of a dick, huh? Just like, yeah, you're gonna hang out with her. You're not straight then. Otherwise you don't get to hang out with her."
It's like the boyfriend's giving you an out. The boyfriend's giving you an out.
Yeah, the boyfriend's giving you an out. Frank talks to Anna's manager. Anna's manager doesn't like the mannequins. She rubs Frank wrong in this scene here because she calls them creepy and doesn't understand what's so important about them. They're just stupid hunks of plastic. They're just kind of creepy that they're making being so important.
You go dumpster diving in department store garbage bins in search of used parts?
They're antiques, so you wouldn't find them in dumpsters.
Honestly, I just find the whole thing really creepy. You and Anna are a perfect fit.
So, of course, that doesn't sit with Frank very well. Because of this, she goes to leave. She tells Anna, like, "I've had a great time. I'm gonna head home now." She doesn't live very far, so she's gonna walk. That's great. Frank's gonna take a walk too. And Frank follows her, because of course he does. Now, this woman should have been safe by all means compared to everyone else, because she has a doorman. Like, there's a dude at the front desk door to, like, check everyone in. You know what doesn't help? When you have a bunch of really rich tenants. So when one of the really rich guys is like, "I need help getting out of my car," and you have to leave the front desk to then go help said rich dude tenant at the building because it's your job. Because then Frank walks in and he's like, "Oh, no one here? Let me just take these keys and get the key to the apartment real quick." Because you're also bad at your job and forget the apartment, like, building keys at the desk.
Yeah.
So Frank gets up, sneaks up, breaks into this woman's apartment. This poor woman. She has, of all the deaths in this movie, this woman has the worst death. She's relaxing in her apartment. She gets in the bath. She's doing fine. She's drinking some wine. And fucking Frank shows up, and initially you think he drowns her in the bathtub, but she's not dead. Because then we see he hog ties her on the bed and fucks with her. Like, he cuts her back a bit and she's freaking out. And you're thinking to yourself, like, oh, he's going to kill her, obviously. That's what he's always done. And then he lays on her and he goes, "I'm not going to kill you. No, I'm going to keep you forever."
Please don't kill me. Please don't.
I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna keep you. Mommy.
And yes, because then he remembers all the times Mom made him hide and do things, and he couldn't do things he wanted. And he immediately says that she's bad and she's not allowed to go out tonight. And he scalps her. Just like fucking everyone. I say she has the worst death of it all because, like, hers wasn't like a quick knife to the face. Like, hers was like tied up for God knows how long, caressed and cuddled by a fucking madman with a knife, to then be scalped and still not be dead. So, like, Jesus, man. So she's dead now because, you know.
Yeah. Given that description, I wonder if Damien Leone watched this movie, and that's where he got his skills for.
For Terrifier
There's one
2.
kill in particular that's pretty close. Yeah.
I knew exactly what you were talking about. I think so, because this was just so unnecessarily brutal on this woman.
She did make fun of his mannequins.
You know, which I think I could be wrong here. I could be misinterpreting, but I think that's why he sees it as his mother, is because his mother had belittled him for being into mannequins and playing with dolls. So I think that's why he psychotically breaks here. So yeah, she's dead. He has her scalp. Does what he always does. Makes her a mannequin. Good times. Good times. He then calls Anna and offers her comfort. And he's like, because she brings up the manager's death, and he's like, "Oh, that's so sad. That's so terrible. Well, you know what? Let me head over. It's no problem at all. I'd rather be with you in your time of need." Frank's off the goddamn deep end as we see him talk to the mirror about he's going to bring her home and she's going to be home forever. She's never going to leave. Wouldn't you like that? And then you turn around and there's little mannequin Frank in the bathroom. He's talking to literally himself in two different ways. So he goes there. He goes to Anna's apartment. When he first gets there, there's Martin who's there, one of her neighbors and friend of hers. And he's like, "Oh, you know, you're here. That's fine. Like, I have stuff to do in the morning anyway, so just, you know, if you need anything, let me know." And everything seems fine. Everything starts great. Like, Frank almost pulls this off perfectly. You know, like, he gets on her good side. They get a little massage going. She's feeling pretty good. And then Frank fucks up here.
She knew what she was doing. She lived 3 blocks away. What were the chances of her getting attacked? Other girls were killed, and you had nothing to do with them. Believe me, it's not your fault. I asked if Rita needed a ride on my way out, and she told me.
Told you what?
Where she lived. Isn't that what you were wondering? How I knew?
I was just wondering what other girls you were talking about.
The girls that were mutilated and murdered. It's all over the news. Rita had the same profile. Don't you think?
The police never mentioned anything about other girls.
Not making it any fucking better. He says it so calmly and so sincerely, but it's... Here's the thing, folks. It's the context of the things you're saying, not necessarily what you're saying.
Yeah.
So he's like, keeps trying to calm her down. She eventually gets a fucking kitchen knife and she starts just swinging at him. She gets him on the forearm. She stabs him in the hand. And then she locks herself in the bathroom. And she screams for Martin. Martin comes over, starts knocking on the door. The fucking shift in this man to go from, "It's okay, Anna, I get it, it's okay, you're safe," to then like hearing Martin knock on the door. He goes over to the sink, he washes off his hand, he wraps it up with a fucking cloth, and then just tonally shifts to like, "I don't know what's wrong with her. She just freaked out, I don't know." And he like opens the door. Martin comes in with a bat, looking around. Here's the thing. Frank grabbed a big old butcher knife. So, of course, when Martin comes in, Martin meets that butcher knife. right through the mouth. And that's the end. Like, Martin's done. Goes back, he tries to get Anna to come out of the bathroom, and of course she's not gonna fucking come out. She knows everything going on now. She pisses him off, and then Martin's not dead. Martin gets a couple hits with the bat. He does get a couple swings on that. Doesn't matter. Frank throws him through the fucking bathroom door and gets to Anna. And I feel bad for Anna here, because Anna literally did nothing. She didn't belittle him. She didn't be rude to him. In fact, she's the nicest anyone has ever been to Frank. But unfortunately, Frank's a fucking serial killer, and he wraps her up in the shower curtain and suffocates her. And takes her into the van, and he leaves. And he tells her that it's all going to be okay. That he's going to explain everything. He's going to make it all better. It's okay. This is where he's at a red light. And, like, he's looking at the scabs all over his knuckles from, like, just how hard he scrubs his hands clean. Also, his other hand wrapped with a cloth. There's a cop next to him, and you see him, like, move his hands. Like, okay, well, they're not at 10 and 2 anymore. Let's just get these down below the door. Cop ends up turning on his siren and takes off. The call to Anna's apartment has been made that shit went down. So Frank continues on. He gets back to the fucking shop. Didn't kill Anna. Apparently he was keeping Anna alive for whatever the fuck twisted thing he was going to do. But Anna takes off a hand from one of the mannequins and just stabs him right in the fucking chest. And gets away. Like, she books it. Unlike any other movie where the person would stay and, like, try to hide her. Like, no, this woman just full on books it into the city. Just like, fuck this. I just need to get to people. Chases her down. She stops a car, gets in the car, and then makes that car run Frank over. But here's the thing. When you hijack someone's car and you make them go full speed and you're also pulling on the wheel, they don't have control of the car, so they crash almost immediately after hitting Frank.
Oh no. Anna? Anna? Why did you do that? Didn't you understand? I just wanted to be with you.
Anna dies here because Anna, not wearing a seatbelt, got sent through the fucking front windshield. And Frank comes up to her and he's distraught. He's like, no, I was going to make it perfect. I was going to have you forever. You weren't going to go like this. Why did you have to do that? Why did you do that? And then scalps her, you know, as per usual.
You know, as per what he has to do. You know, that's the job.
Yeah, you know, can't let her go to waste. You know, just got to have her forever. So now we're in the ending of this movie. So he staples Anna's scalp to a bride mannequin and marries Anna there and tells her that they're going to live happily ever after. They're finally together. And he takes the man, like, you even see that it's a mannequin. He just takes the mannequin to the bedroom, lays her on the bed, and then it turns into real Anna. And he's going to be so happy. He's going to consummate his marriage. He's going to live happily ever after. But then the other mannequins start showing up as the real women, and they start yelling at him and belittling him, telling him that he's not good enough and that Anna's not his. And he starts arguing back. And then they push him onto the bed, and they like break his fucking forearm in half. They rip his legs off. They start gutting him, just ripping his fucking intestines out. And the coolest effect that they do in this is they start tearing at Elijah Wood's face, and the CGI to the practical that's under the practical mannequin head that they put is so fucking seamless. I love it so much because all of them start ripping his face, and as he's screaming, slowly he just becomes a mannequin. And then we get what actually happened, which is that Frank got home and bled out, but he hid in the closet that he hid in when he was a child. And we see all the SWAT team in the room, and they're all looking in the closet, and we just...
So much better than the one we did last week. So much better.
So much better. Oh, so there you go. There's Maniac 2012. It's a very slow burn of a movie. Which, like, for the review wise, you're probably wondering, like, why is this episode shorter? It's because really it's like an hour, 30-ish minute movie, but it's such a slow burn that there's not a whole lot that goes on, and then something does happen, and then it's just a lot of him driving around POV.
It's very much the old style of movie making.
Yes.
A lot of scenery shots, a lot of just this is what's going on around him type stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, I dedicated that episode to my father as well, because he introduced me to this movie. He liked it a lot. And then he showed it to me, so then I ended up liking it. Same thing with High Tension. So
I thought maybe you were going to say because he had a bunch of mannequins in his closet. I don't know.
No, he has a lot of skulls. My dad's a skull guy. But anyway, folks, I would suggest Maniac. If you've never seen it, it's worth at least one watch through. If you enjoy horror, just go check that out. It was really good remake for what it is. It's nothing like the other terrible remakes we covered this month, so at least check that one out. But as always, you never betray the puppets. You should never, ever, ever prank your friends as a serial killer. Don't bring things back from the dead. Don't bury the dead under the road, because they'll likely come back and just murder your ass. For this one, I'd say, like, seek therapy, but he clearly had, because he had medication. Don't trust people with mannequins.
Yeah.
It seems like every time.
Yeah. I will say, too, that I think one of the reasons Elijah Wood was able to pull this off, if you've ever seen The Good Son, with him and Macaulay Culkin.
No, I have not. No.
And they're like stepbrothers or something, and he switches on that good to evil thing very well. That I'm just a little because he gets away with it because he's so non-threatening. Really?
No.
Yeah,
I didn't know him and Macaulay Culkin had a movie together, so I had no idea that was a thing.
There you go. It's called The Good Son. Yeah.
Let me just... The Good Son.
Yep.
Okay. All right, well, I'm adding that in here because I'm curious. So yeah, folks, just follow the rules, stay alive, always just kind of learn what horror movie you're in, and you can kind of gauge what rules will probably work best for you. But as always, stay out, stay happy. We'll see you on the next time we see you. Follow us at OddcastN. We also have oddcastmedia@gmail.com if you have any suggestions or any comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. Follow Paul at CerebralPaul or at CerebralPaul1 on Twitter because Twitter's stupid. There's that. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.